designer is responsible for everything the audience see from the moment they walk into the theatre, right up to the moment when they leave the auditorium. That's my job, I think. This is the room where I kind of create everything in, really. This is the space I sit and make models, draw costumes, basically work out how to do these shows. Theatre design really isn't anything to do with scenery. It's to do with the space and how you divide it up. And that may mean scenery, but it may mean light, and it may mean sound, and it may mean 20 actors in a space that you don't actually need any scenery because they're filling the space. You start from the actor outwards rather than the scenery inwards, and you invoke in the audience their imagination. That's what I'm trying to do. And I love really challenging shows that you think, how can we can possibly stage that? Chris had a fairly firm concept in his mind to set Love's Labour's Lost before the First World War, 1914, and Love's Labour's Won after the First World War, 1918, and also to set it in a country house. And it's a really interesting concept. Straight away, I was really excited by this. So we decided to base it on one house. And there were 3 or 4 candidates, but Charlcote was a pretty strong one right from the beginning. It was really fascinating to go around, and we went all over the place, and it was pretty obvious from that moment, from walking through the front door, that that's where we should set it. I took hundreds of photographs of every detail I could when I was there. I was really pleased to find it. From an architectural point of view, it solved the problem of what the house should look like. The actual rooms in the house, yes, I've reproduced them, not exactly, because there's a point where you have to then design the play and then make it work on the RST stage. So although I think the library is pretty accurate, because we loved the fascia of the library and the fireplace, the room isn't. The room works for the play. The furniture positions work for the sightlines of the theatre. And various locations around the house we took inspiration from, but we not cheated, but we manipulated the house to fit Love's Labour's Lost and Love's Labour's Won.
Confident, I'll keep what I have.
Chris had decided that each location should be different. It wasn't the usual way of doing a Shakespeare play, as Shakespeare would have written it in one space. Chris wanted to change the set as often as possible, which was a really interesting thing to try and do on the RSC stage, because it's not usually attempted, but we thought we'd have a go. The other thing he did say was that he really didn't want an actor to pick up a piece of furniture. And usually on a thrust stage, you would expect to see people move, whether it's crew or actors and someone, to come on and pick up a piece of furniture and move it, because that's the nature of the space. Chris had decided that wasn't going to happen. He wanted it all to be a mechanical move. So that's the challenge he set me. I came up with the idea of the sliding truck quite quickly, because it means that I can slide a whole room back and forwards. And Chris was very excited by that, because we can lay out a room as a room would be, rather than a room on stage, which is very different. But by sliding the truck back, it means that we could reveal an outside floor, which solved Chris's problem of going outside straight away. So we have a grass floor underneath. And then because of the RST facilities, I can also PS that floor as well, which means by using we called it the tongue, but it's a great big piece of floor that slides back underneath the big truck. We also have a lift underneath, so we can bring things up. So we in fact got 3 floors, which is, a luxury, to say the least. I build a model box of the space, wherever that may be, which is very highly detailed. I built all the seats of the stalls, more or less, just so I can get down and look on that eye line of what that audience at that point is going to see. And I have lots of little actors now, little plasticine men that I've created over the years, a kind of company of actors that I then put in the model box straight away, because whatever I do at the end of the process, there'll be people on stage. With the model complete, I turned up to the RSC workshops and I show it to everyone in the workshops, I think the painters, the carpenters, the manufacturers, and they then set about solving the engineering problems to start with. They used the model and just did it all from the model. It does look as good as I ever imagined it would look, probably better. It's one of the most successful translations of a model I've had to reality, I think. theatre design, when it really works, it's from an audience point of view, really. That's when it's worked really well. The biggest thing is telling stories or enabling stories to be told. My prime motivation for doing it is the excitement of telling a story to a group of people in a room and seeing their reaction back. And the ability to move 1,500, 2,000 people is awe-inspiring. I still find that now. And the actors do it, the lighting does it, the sound does it, and I do my bit. And that's what I most enjoy about theatre.